What's going on, everybody? So this is going to be some real talk TV for you guys. So let's just go ahead and get started. Now, there's not going to be anything fancy or any special edits or cuts in this video. It's just going to be raw and straightforward. To be honest with you, to be honest with myself, I feel like I've put myself in a world that I can't get out of many times, especially knowing how I really truly feel about social media as a whole. Yeah, it has its cons, it has its pros, but for the most part, psychologically, what I feel about social media is more on the con side. And many times, a lot of you wonder why, some people you follow just up and disappear. Maybe it's somebody you've been subscribed to on YouTube even and they just up and disappear, right? Maybe the channel disappears. Maybe they just stop posting. They haven't you notice they haven't posted in a year or two. Well, I'm gonna tell you exactly why. As a person that has been doing this for 10 years. All right, so a lot of you may not know, a lot of you are still with me. Even when I started my first YouTube channel back in the day, it was called Fit Like Me for Free. Now, this YouTube channel was launched in 2009 and it grew to a pretty big size. Obviously, it no longer exists. So, what happened was, I'm gonna give you a little bit of background of how that even happened. So, I heard about YouTube and I'm like, how can I help people? What can I just post, for free? And at this particular time, there was no AdSense or anything like that. YouTube was just like a free platform where you can just, help people, give tutorials and whatnot. And I posted a few abdominal exercise videos and I logged out. And I came back in maybe 6 months later. I looked on the three videos that I uploaded. One of them had like 100,000 views. Another one had 70, and another one had 50. And I'm like, wow, this could really be something, right? Especially for my drive and passion for really helping people. Because at that point, I had been training people, personal training wise, for free for years, even at that point. So it was something I really was passionate about. And so from that point, I started uploading more videos. All right. And obviously more platforms came out. So, you're trying to keep up with the constant change, the constant new things that are coming out. And eventually you get burned out, right? But it's more to the story to that. It's more to it than just being burnt out. Obviously, for me, over the past 10 years, I've received a lot of hate mail. Obviously, that's going to come. And then you receive death threats that come along with that. Now, for the safety of myself, the safety of my family, you get to the point when you deal with all this stuff that you just want to up and disappear. You want to get away from the negativity. You want to get away from this negative energy that comes from being a content creator or someone that posts online constantly to help people or whatever the reason may be, right? So you have to deal with that. The politics, the politics of it kind of makes it suck in a sense, even for me on the outside looking in, even though I don't even teach yoga anymore, but a lot of you guys look at me as a fitness person anyway, because that's the way I started out on social media. I started out as a fitness person, and a lot of you still consider me to be that, which is understandable because truly I really am. But when you think about the politics of things, me on the outside looking in now is you have yoga teachers that are tearing down other yoga teachers because of the competition, right? So even yoga, for example, is such a saturated industry that you have so many people teaching, so many people that have different products, and they know they have to compete. So what comes with competition is people start to tear each other down, right? You have these rivalries. People that were once friends are no longer friends because they're competing against each other, and it creates this culture where there's a lot of negativity, and it starts to wear and tear on you. All right. Another people don't realize is obviously people have motives, right? So me, for example, even though you guys have seen me take about a month off or whatever it's been off of Instagram, it's like you don't hear from anybody at all. It's like as long as you're posting content, oh, bro this, bro that, but the moment you have to take time out for yourself and get your mental right, nobody checks on you. Nobody even cares, right? All they care about is that content that you provide for them and nothing else, right? So like a wise man once said, people that create content, it comes with the cost for them. A lot of times, like people say, you think about the money aspect of it, but at the end of the day, it comes at a cost, and most of the time, it's going to be mental health, right? It's going to be mental health at times, and mental health causes the physical health to go down as well. So sometimes, even you guys have seen it. Well, my weight is going up. I'm super swole, and then it comes down. I get skinny, right? Sometimes it's due to that, the things that you deal with. All right. Also, you guys have to think about people that receive a lot of direct messages, right? So the people constantly get asked questions. Like myself, I probably get on average probably 15 direct messages per day, and a lot of you guys forget that I'll have a job too. This social media stuff is not my main source of income. It's good side money, but it's not my main focus. It's not my primary focus. And at one point, yeah, I saw myself being a yoga teacher full time, but after I've gone through things with that come along with it, I can't see myself doing it full time. I just can't. So, but then to get back on topic here, the direct messages can become overwhelming, and if you don't answer one person's question, their whole world has come down. It's like they're the only person that has a question. So at the end of the day, it's a lot of wear and tear on you. All right. I also feel like by people comparing themselves in this, this social media culture, I feel like I have played a role on that too, right? So I'm doing the crazy things, the different handstands, every now and then I may post a body picture or something, but at the same time, it's like people are striving to become that. They're striving to become that video. They're striving to become that picture, and they come away from themselves. They become frustrated, and it psychologically it has an impact on them. So at the end of the day, I feel guilty a lot of times because I know that I'm contributing towards it, and for me to say that it's never had an impact on me looking at other people, I would be lying because me as a young man, back in 2006 looking at YouTube videos, there were a lot of people that inspired me, and psychologically it did something to me too. So obviously it's not something that I deal with now, at an older age. But, for a lot of you young people, if it's something that really impacts you, you got to come away from it, man. You got to, value yourself, love yourself, appreciate the person you are. And you can't let any picture or video discourage you from being the person you are, taking away from the person that you are and the person you're truly here to be. All right. So also a lot of times the pressure is very high because it gets to the point where you're not even posting what you like. You're posting what other people like, and at the end of the day, that does take away from who you really are. So a lot of you ask me, how come I never post pictures of myself? Well, mentally, I know that people don't care. They don't care about me. They just care about what I can provide for them, or how the workouts or drills help them. They don't care about me. So it's like, why would I post myself? But what I'm gonna start doing is posting what I like too. You know, despite what other people think, like I'm gonna start to post more of what I like. Now, also what comes along with that is a lot of times what you post is not good enough. So if you post one thing that somebody doesn't like, for me, we all know that on Instagram I post progress pictures. I post, fitness drills to really help, build a solid core foundation as well as upper body. Now, if I go on a spree where there's 2 weeks where I post calisthenics and just things that I like, maybe some yoga transitions that I'm working on, that ends somebody's life pretty much. It's like, despite me posting 50 to 100 videos of drills and progress pictures, the moment that I post something that I like or something I'm working on, that's a problem, right? Obviously, people are gonna say, oh well, I'm gonna unsubscribe because you're not posting what I want you to post. Basically they're telling you your channel is not about you, which in a sense for a lot of people is not. It's only about them and only what they want to see, right? So then they're gonna start to unsubscribe or threaten to unsubscribe because what you're posting is not good enough at that time, right? So that obviously can have an impact on and just make you want to just get away from social media altogether. And this is why a lot of times I'll up and disappear too. Some of the other reasons obviously too is just like you just get tired of it. And for me, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been getting a hate mail for 10 years. I've been getting fussed at for 10 years, and sometimes I need a break. Now, obviously, that's come with me deleting pages. Some of you know this is like the Instagram page I have now, that's like my 6th Instagram page. So YouTube channels, I've had several YouTube channels, and you just get to the point where you just can't take it anymore, and you just want to disappear. Now, a lot of you may say, oh well, you got to be mentally tougher than that, but at the same time you realize, like, for me, I've done it initially from the heart. As I said before, the money, a little extra on the side is good, but I'm an IT professional, so I don't do this for my primary work. I do this because I love to teach people what I know. Now, for me to say that there hasn't been moments where, like, for example, when I was on YouTube heavily, you get sucked into this trap with YouTube where they had this AdSense program, right? And I can remember, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I was making like $500 a month. I mean, this is years ago. And then all of a sudden, they changed the programs, and then you're getting $50 a month. Like, in my mind, it's like, I'm being real. Like, that was frustrating because you built it up this much, despite your following going up, the views going up, the pay is going down. So psychologically that had an impact on me, along with people complaining about the content that you're creating is not what they want, and then you just say, what, it's just too much of a headache for me, and you just say, forget it, man, I'm done with it. I've gone through that. So for you content creators, I understand. For some of you that are on the other end of it and don't understand, this is just kind of what goes on. Now it kind of sucks because initially you do it because it's something you're passionate about, but then sometimes you get suckered into some things that can take you away from it. And we're all human. Sometimes we get suckered into things that takes us away from why we initially started to do something, right? Also, you know, people depend on you. You know, a lot of times, if you have a pretty big following, people depend on you. Like for me, it's like every time I try to escape, I'll disable my Instagram channel for a couple weeks. The emails start to come. Well, you know you I really hate that you took your page down. You helped me not kill myself by the messages you were delivering, and then it's like, man, you know, I really needed this time to come away from it, but it's like you have this purpose to help other people, but what comes with that is you're destroying yourself sometimes. If that makes sense. You can help people and destroy yourself at the same time. Sometimes there's an imbalance that comes with helping people. And I know that may sound selfish to say, but it's like if you can't even help yourself, if you're struggling with yourself, how can you help other people? And that's something that I've gone through at times myself. So again, that's another reason why. And a lot of you ask me, about this old Instagram page I had. Well, you had 100,000 subscribers, or followers. I'm sorry. What happened? Why'd you take it down? Well, for me, it's bigger than the number. You know, I think you guys, some of you know and some of you don't know. So, the more followers you get, the more problems that comes along with it, the more headache that's gonna come with it because you're a target. You got people reaching out to you, people trying to sell you stuff. Hey man, can you promote this on your page? Can you do this? Can you do that? You being pulled into all different directions, right? And it becomes very, very tiring. Along with that, I can remember a time where I went out to eat. I had lunch, and I had a person come to me and say, I'm sitting at the restaurant, hey man, you're the guy on Instagram, right? And then he says, oh man, I thought you ate healthy all the time. Look at the food you're eating. And to me, that was an eye-opening moment where it's like, man, wow, this thing has gotten so big to where I can't even go out and have a moment to myself and eat something that I enjoy. Not something that I even eat all the time. Like, I'm human. Like, at times I eat bad just like anybody else does. Rather you're vegan or whatever it is that you are or whatever you eat, there's going to be times that you just simply are going to indulge in some foods that you probably shouldn't be eating, right? And so I said all of that to say that it's it's hard, man. It's hard to be a person that didn't really initially want to be on the spotlight. Everywhere you go, people know who you are. You gotta really watch what you do. You gotta watch what you say, and it's it's hard, man. So initially, I started the YouTube channel the Instagram channel because it was at the point where in Nashville, I was starting out I was starting out as a yoga instructor, and for me, it was very difficult to get clients sometimes. So I'm like, okay, well, let me use Instagram to see if I can reach out to people in Nashville that really want it, right? And so obviously, I wasn't really able to reach out to the people that wanted, but in Nashville, but I was able to reach out to the people that wanted it, in different parts of the country, right? So Then that caused for me to start to upload more, upload tutorials, give my all. Um, and people started to depend on that, right? You come up with this pattern for people where you're posting daily and they're expecting this. But the moment you want to take a break, yeah, I think I'm done with this person, They miss one day, they miss a week, they miss a month of posting. Despite whatever they're going through, I don't care. I'm done with them, right? So that comes along with it too. So a lot of you people that think that it's all sweet, everything looks good and dandy, like you're gonna have to deal with a whole lot, you know, and especially the more you grow, the more you're gonna have to deal with. And again, me being initially been a person that's always been like a behind the scenes person. I've always been that person that took pictures of other people, that videotaped other people so they can see themselves, so they can be happy with, you know, the moments that they had. So I'm capturing their moments, getting them to them. They can enjoy it with their family, they can go back and reminisce. But then when I'm in a person that's in the spotlight, I really truly don't like it. And the only reason why I stick around now is because I feel like if I go away for good, I let people down, man. And it sucks to be in a position like that. And I know that I have to look out for myself. And a lot of times when I look out for myself, my mental health, my overall health, I just have to disappear at times. That's just keeping it real. Um, I really didn't have this problem, but a lot of people I know that are content creators, they go to a phase where it impacts their family, right? So you have people that are so consumed with this, content creating that, they don't even have time for family. They don't have time for their kids. They don't have time for their spouses, their girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever it may be because they're consumed with this social media life, right? Whether you're a content creator or you're just a person that just loves to be on social media, right? So I really didn't experience that. I was always a person that family came first no matter what, even if I'm creating content and it's like, hey, family wants to do something or something I want to do with family, I'll just drop whatever I'm doing at the drop of a heartbeat because I know family is more important than creating content or social media. So I hope this guys kind of gives you an insight of some things that go on the dark side of creating content, or also, just a person that posts for, their leisure time or to really help people out. There's a dark side to it. There's no mystery why the number of people that are mentally ill now, the suicide rates have gone up, and that's all in correlation to social media. So, again, guys, if you need help, don't be afraid to get therapy. Don't be afraid to get help. The longer you go without help, the worse it's going to get. I was a person that thought that I can get through it on my own, but I couldn't. I had to get help too. Even the people you think that are supposed to be so strong, at the end of the day, we're all human. We all need somebody we can talk to, somebody we can lean on, somebody to hear us out. And, you don't be afraid to talk about it with somebody. If you can't talk about it with family, get with somebody like a therapist that you can talk it over with. Maybe sometimes you guys fear being judged. So, reach out to somebody that, it'll be an even playing field for you. They won't be judgmental towards you. They'll hear you out. They'll be understanding. And that's all I have, guys. So for a lot of you that wonder why I just up and disappear, and I've done it plenty of times over the years, this is why. So again, it just gets to the point where you deal with all of this and you just want to disappear, and you have to disappear sometimes. So A lot of you, if you needed that voice to tell you that it's okay to take a break, take a break. That's it, guys. I'm not gonna ramble anymore. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm out.